I'm not into kids. I'm so not into kids, guys. Really, seriously, straight up.
No, but I think we're on Sesame Street. Have we gotten to Sesame Street?
Maybe in our minds, and
Are we on Sesame Street?
I don't know. Are you my neighbor?
Hi
You're
there,
my
neighbor.
neighbor.
That's
Hi
the
there,
wrong
neighbor.
song. That's the wrong song.
No,
Please,
but
won't you be
my neighbor. No, that's on Sesame Street. I think that is on Sesame Street.
No, baby. Oh, we are on Sesame Street.
Bert and Ernie are on Sesame Street.
We are in trouble. We're on Sesame Street, and we
are.
are in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. This woman here just believed that the Mister Rogers song was on Sesame Street.
Oh, I guess it is a Mr. Rogers song. Well, we are on Sesame Street. It was so long ago since I saw the train go by and him put his sweater on and those loafers. And
I thought you were talking about when we were last on Sesame Street, like for real on Sesame Street.
I literally did watch Sesame Street. I'm telling you, because between the hours of 4 and 5 o'clock, or actually it was 5 and 6 o'clock before my mother would get home, was the only thing to watch was Sesame Street on Channel 9. Gen X, rock on.
She hasn't caught on yet. By Sesame Street, I mean, we took an edible before we did part 1 of the show.
Oh, yeah, we did that.
We did part 1 on an edible. And I think that we've officially reached, we're at Sesame Street.
Yeah. We are at Sesame Street.
So I was like, we're on Sesame Street.
But we actually hit Sesame Street a little bit in the middle of last one.
But I was like, she goes, it's been so long. And I thought, yes, it's been so long.
And then I went out for a cigarette, and that made me a little bit more on.
Yeah.
So
we're on
Sesame
Street, y'all. Yeah, that edible kicked in a little bit. Shit. No, wait. Oh. Did it?
Anyway, yeah, I did. Anyway, so
we were talking about the industry before now we're on Sesame Street. So I don't know. The industry is a little inappropriate for Sesame Street.
Well, I think it's going to relax us a little bit more so that we can enthrall a little bit more, talk about a little bit more with a little more ease. If you get my
now
drift.
that you
and
can
I think now we're going to be kind of like a little, mellowed into this. And
so, how do you feel about your industry being under attack? How does that make you feel?
Well, for people like me that have a record, that because I was given a record by law enforcement because of my business that I had, it leaves me high and dry. I mean, it's not that I like doing it, but I like paying my bills, and I think CPS likes getting their money, and I like having lights, and I like having flushing my toilet and there being water in there. I mean, I like to have my bills paid. I like to eat, obviously. I mean.
So that is what comes of you being in the sex
industry. And it's a choice that I make too. It is my choice, but it's also a choice that I didn't have in a way either.
Yeah.
I did try to go to school. I did real estate. Found out I could not get my license because of the record that I had from having that business. Even though it's misdemeanor A, it's a sex offense. It's a sexual thing, and it was promotion of prostitution that they hit me with, guys.
PSA to all you out there, because there are so many people who love to get freaky in cars and shit and do stuff in
car
pools.
dates. Car dates.
Yeah, car dates, and do stuff in the car and like do stuff in the pool, do stuff outside. That will, even though it's a misdemeanor, that puts you on the sex offender list forever.
It sure does.
So it's not like
and that it follows you to jobs and everything.
Neighborhoods. There's places you can't live if you're on the sex offender list, and it's just.
I mean, I'm not on the sex offender list, but I am. Where my record is a misdemeanor. No, are you kidding me? I'm not on the sex offender. Who am I offending?
This is one of the biggest offenders in sexual history.
Who am I offending?
And she's not on the list. This is one list you definitely need to be on, lady.
There's no offense here. There's no offense. No offense. No offense.
I'm kidding. No. Real perverts need to be on that shit. Not people who get caught making out in hot tubs outside, or people who get caught screwing in cars. Even though it was, I once long story short, I caught my very first boyfriend doing that with somebody in a car. I went to go bail him out. Oh, and here's the thing, dumbass 19-year-old me goes out to bail my first boyfriend out of jail, and I asked, "What did he do?" And they said, "Oh, public lewdness." And I'm looking at, his best friend, and she's like, "Oh shit." And his mom, she's, not from here, so she's like, "What? Public lewdness?" And her best friend's like, "Let's just go outside." And her mom's looking at me like, "Were you with him?" I'm like, "No. What the fuck's going on here?" And I'm looking at the best friend, and I'm like, "What the fuck is public lewdness?" And she's like, "Babe, he was fucking in the car." I was, ah,
But it's true.
oh, and I was there to bail him out. But that all that aside, whatever, 19-year-old kids, you do shit like that. It was now it's funny that I look back at it. But that earned him, he's like, I have to be on
But
the
that
sex
would be a
offender list
moral
now. He was
issue
on the
too.
sex offender list. Yeah, that's a moral issue. Like,
That
why
would
would you
be.
ruin the rest of his life over a
Who
moral
doesn't
issue?
get hot when they're young in a car? Even I got hot in my Honda Accord in front of Leo's parents' house. You could see my head bobbing up and down in the sunroof.
No
Fucking
comment.
no shit. And it was amazing. It was me. And it
No.
was a quickie. And I was done. He got out of the car, got out of me, and I went home. But it was good. It was after a night at the club. And I was young.
Oh yeah, I know all about those nights at the club. I think I lived my life at the club from age 18 to about age 21. I literally lived in a club. It was as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. My dad would tell us like, what are you guys gonna get some sort of absentee points? And I used to joke with him. I'd be like, yeah, we're gonna get tardy marks. We gotta go. We gotta be at the bars by. We were at the bars by 10:30.
Dang. 10:30. Yeah, well, because at 10 o'clock was the hip time. If you went any earlier, then that wasn't the cool thing. Back then, it was like 10 o'clock or 10:30. The later you strolled in, the better, because well, you knew you were going to get wasted really fast.
And
And closing time was 2.
these were the years when you were in and out. You were in for a minute, then we'd slip away to the restroom for a little,
Got to powder our nose.
powder our nose,
Got to powder our
gotta
nose.
powder our nose for a little bit, and then then all of a
Literally powder
sudden
our nose.
this one would
Clean
disappear for a
off the
minute.
powder on our
She'd
nose.
disappear for a minute, a good 30, 45 minutes, and she'd come zooming back in. She's like, I just made $400 It was in and out. You do that like 2, 3 times in one night out. By two, but you'd be like, meet me at the house by your like fourth appointment. You'd be like, meet me back at the house at 2 a.m.
Mhm.
While we were over there chunking out our money at the bar, this one was running around town just raking it up, raking it up,
Yeah,
raking
well,
it up.
because my ex husband was hanging out with everybody at the bar, spending my money and cheating on me at the same time while I'm out there making money and seeing customers. And granted, yes, I was raking it in because you got to tip, guys. Back then, people actually tipped. People don't tip anymore. People were actually giving back then.
Hmm.
Mhm.
What's the biggest tip you ever got in the industry? Such a lame question, but everyone always wants to know what's the big
I
kahuna?
think probably the biggest tip that I ever got, and I'm ashamed to say what for, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I did not get anything from it, was he burst. No, he didn't even burst condom. He was behind me doing it, and he took the condom off and decided to continue do it fucking me, and I had no clue that the condom wasn't on there, and I should have noticed. Yes, guys, that's how tight I am. Gotta add that. so, and so I didn't notice, and then I did notice, of course, after his jizz is coming out of me, disgusting. So yeah, and he tipped me $500 because I bitched and told him he's a piece of shit. And I was gonna keep his fucking number, and I was gonna call his wife, and I was gonna call him. He goes, and I said, "What are you gonna pay for my STD, STD test. And if you gave me AIDS, are you going to pay for me for the rest of my life to live? Granted, he was pretty fucking rich because it was a really nice hotel. See what I'm talking about, girls? Rich, nice hotel, everything. And they still do it. I don't know who he was. He could have been anybody, a senator, congressman. Who knows? They gave me $500 flat. Okay, no. And then there was another one that gave me $1,000.
Okay, I was about to say 500, 1,000. All right, all
No,
right, all
another
right.
one, and he
What
was a
was worthy? What
judge.
was worthy of the
He was a
1,000?
judge. I went to his house.
A
He had a
judge. A
nice
judge. One of
house.
the people in charge of these rules of morality. A judge. So what did this $1,000 judge do? What was it? So
I just spent the night with him.
and that was
He
it.
was doing a bachelor party. He
Oh,
was a
there was
part of a bachelor
no
party.
freaky deaky raw dogging,
Oh
jizz
yeah, of
dripping.
course it was freaky deaky. He was nasty too. It was disgusting. He really was.
What did he do?
He stank for one. No, I'm serious. He had like the cheese and like
Ooh, down under,
crackers in
cheese
his
down under.
nuts and the crackers like the crumbles and the nuts and like from his underwear and shit. It was like it's so gross. But what do we women do all the time, even with our husbands and boyfriends? Sometimes I faked it. It's true.
I've never faked it.
Yeah, whatever. Man, everybody fakes it once in their life.
Nope.
We take it for the team, girls.
I've never faked it. I just got up and been like, nope, not gonna happen.
But I was hurting for money at that time too. I would not have normally done that if I didn't have to.
This is true. Back to the point. Sex in the industry, sex being an industry. I recall I had a roommate who, when I met her, was this innocent. I think you met her before. She was the actual before she what she is now. Um, now she's this huge, gorgeous stripper with implants, and she's just looks like a little Mexican Barbie. But when you met her, she was this young, little timid A cup, little girl. She was a server, very sweet, and we won't say her real name. And then all of a sudden, she was, we went to Austin, and she began dancing. She began stripping at this, place in Austin. And she came home, and she had this really thick accent. And she came home, and she would say, "You know what, Jules? It's kind of like this is like taking over. It's like all of a sudden I'm." What did she say? Her name? What she said?
Is this Sylvia that you're talking about? That Cuban girl?
Yeah, Sylvia, the Cuban
Oh,
girl.
are you talking about when Leo and I were swinging?
No, 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 no. This is a girl that I moved over. I moved to Austin to. I don't know if you ever got
Oh,
to
oh,
meet
oh,
her.
oh, oh, yeah, I remember that. That's way back when,
So
way back
and
when.
and like 2012, I think 2011, 2012. We went to Austin together, and we were living together. She started stripping at a bar, and then she comes home, and she was herself. One day she just comes home, and it's just personality flipped. This industry flipped her. She came home one day, she's like, Jules, it's like I'm losing touch with reality. It's like I'm so I won't say her name. I'm so and so when I'm here at home, but like when I go out, I'm like Yasmin, and I'm Yasmin, and I just like have ass. And she was just like, she looked different. She was just weird, and I was like, okay. I was like, but remember that you're not Yasmin. You're so and so. She's like, no, no, no. It's money, baby. It's just money and
That's a chick that made
baby,
tons
money,
of
just ass.
money.
Yeah, she would come home, and she would come home with like 3 or 4 G's and
Yeah, I
whatnot.
remember you telling me
Yeah, and
about
she would
her.
just literally put her with that. Like, I just made you know five
Yeah,
fucking
but that's because
thousand.
guys like that accepting that,
They loved it. This is the craziest
and
story,
she
and,
was
if
small.
you're hearing this, babe, trust me, I'm not gonna say your name. That's why I'm protecting your privacy. If you see this, I'm not saying your name, but but they would have loved this story when they should.
Star, we'll call her
Yeah,
Star.
yeah, Star. We'll call you Star, and you know who you are, Star. You're my little star. I love you forever. But she is a star. She was a star because she started as just a little timid dancer, and she's become a star. She in her industry, she is a star. She's gorgeous. You ought to see her. Anyhow, so Star, she says one day, says you, because I asked her, I was like, what's the craziest thing? You know me, always asking the stupid questions. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? And Star goes, this guy one day tells me, I like when women fart. I want you to fart in my
Oh,
face.
I've heard that. Guys have asked me that. If I can fart in their mouth. I'm
I
like,
couldn't.
man, I don't know if I could suck in enough air and if it'll make it down fast enough. We only have 30 minutes.
I couldn't believe it when she
Ugh.
told me that. And I was like,
Or shit in their mouth.
oh, two girls, one cup. Has
Mhm.
anyone ever lasted through two girls, one cup? Have you lasted through two girls, one cup?
What's that? Two girls, one cup. Explain that.
We'll Google it later.
All right,
Well,
I see.
no, I
This
feel
is
like
why we
okay,
need
no,
to do
no, 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 no.
TikTok
This is why we
because
should do it
people would
now.
be able
This
to
is
tell
no.
us.
She wants to know what two girls, one cup is. She wants to know what two girls, one cup is. So, all right, those of you at home, please don't let your children be watching
Yeah, no, no,
this.
no. This is not something for kids to watch. Really, I don't think.
I'm pretty
They
sure when
for
I
one
type it up
thing,
in the Google
children
search,
are not getting tipped anyway, guys. And if they're getting tipped, then they already know what's going on this subject here.
I'm pretty certain
So,
when I type this into the Google search, it's gonna be one of the first thing that
did you hear what I
pops
said?
up. Yes, I heard you. Yes,
Th-
disclaimer. This is not for children ears. Your kids should not be listening to the show with you. Children should not be watching this.
No,
I'm wondering if this video still
this
exists.
is another reason why we're doing it at night, right? After Betty time.
So, okay, you want to watch Two Girls, One Cup? Here you go. Oh no, that's
No,
no.
no, no. That's two girls.
But oh yeah. Oh, look what's going
What
on.
is that? Oh my God! No! Please, I don't want to watch it no more. That's like watching a horror movie. I don't want to see that. Oh my
And
God!
look,
Is that for real?
look.
No, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it no more. Really, 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 really.
She wanted to watch
Woo,
Two
that's gonna make
Girls,
me
One
throw
Cup.
up, man. Really, people do that? No, 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 no. In 35 years, guys, I've never done that. I swear, I've never
And this
seen it.
is also
I
an industry. This is
I've
people
never heard
pay
it
for this.
either. I don't want to see
People.
this. Stay away, go away, please turn it
You
off.
notice how I haven't even looked. I can't.
It's disgusting. That's just wrong. That is like what illnesses are they catching from that? Like that's just like disgusting. I mean, that's worse than Hannibal, worse than Dahmer. I mean, and well, hey, I mean, Dahmer could be doing that if he's cooking the intestines, I guess, or whatever.
But that's besides the point. This is also an industry. There's a people
No, 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 no,
there's
no, no.
people who
That
pay for
is,
that. There's people who pay
they
for that.
they do, but I've never done it. Again, I have rules. I'm not a slut. That would be a slut, guys. That's a slut that would do that. I have rules. I'm not going to do that. I don't care how much money you pay me. Okay, well, maybe $1,000,000 I might shit
Wait,
in your mouth.
they did that
But
for
I will
money, so
not
that's
look
not
at you
but that's
when
not
I'm shitting.
but they got paid a lot for that.
Well, I just said maybe for $1,000,000 I do
So
it.
that's not a slut. That's a professional.
Okay, well,
Because she didn't even throw up.
But wait a minute, do I have to pay taxes on that $1,000,000 if I shit in somebody's mouth? Because then can I shit in the? No, I can't say that. Can I say that? Can I shit in the IRS's mouth? Because they didn't earn anything
They sure do shit
from
in
it.
ours. We
They
eat their shit all year and say yum.
They didn't earn anything from me shitting in somebody's mouth. I don't see that they partaked in anything of
Yeah, I
it.
sure been getting fucked by them lately, and not in a good way.
Yeah, me too.
Whatever, who cares?
Mm.
Anyhow, so that's an industry. The whole two girls, one cup. In case you didn't know, is just two women who decide to
To
begin
put feces in their mouth. And
crap in each other's mouths and then start making out with it.
that's just wrong. That's just wrong. I'm sorry.
That's why I didn't
I
look the
don't think I'm
entire
gonna be able to
time.
get that out of my head. I'm gonna, I'm gonna have dreams about that. Like shitting into my mouth and like kissing each other with it. I don't know. I don't. My Wheaties is not gonna be the same in the morning.
I finally corrupted you.
I just
She
don't think that I'm gonna be able to eat that cupcake later with the.
all our lives, I've never been able to like shock her, or surprise her. Nothing's ever shocked her, or surprised her. I
No,
remember
no.
that
Now he has.
growing
Yes.
up, and telling her things that I would find out. She'd be like, "I'm Jules, you're surprised." She'd be like, "God, you're so naive." she'd always tell me, for once, I was like, "Oh, you don't know Two Girls, One Cup?
Nope,
Oh,
never
oh,
heard it, never
oh."
heard it. And I've never seen it either, guys. I've never seen it. Like
Well,
I said, I don't in my job though, or when I had my job, I didn't partake in doing threesomes and foursomes and stuff like that because then it could get out of control and then somebody can get hurt. I mean, they even make movies over it. Now I did go to a bachelor party with like four of us girls and we danced around, but we didn't do anything like that. We just danced around.
so what do you call somebody who participates in like the threesomes and the foursomes willingly?
What we would call those swingers
Oh, that's it.
and orgies
So
and
they're not
yeah.
sluts.
What? Okay, so yeah, they were, but let me tell you, but let me, but let me wait a minute, wait a minute.
I'm asking for a friend.
But let me tell you first, okay? When I would go, okay, once you had me at a swingers club when I was younger, once you had me, that was it. It was one tap and that's it. There's not second taps on this. What am I dating you? Are we in a relationship?
But the swinging world is different than have being, working because
No,
there's the
actually,
swinging
no.
world, you get feelings involved, don't
No,
you?
that's no. That's yeah. Well, maybe a little. The guys get the feelings. It's the girls don't. I have to be honest, unless that dick is really good and that husband is really not giving it, and not participating and putting his all into it, and that would fall on him. To be honest, just like if she's not putting her, you know, people. It takes two people to make a relationship, and it takes two people working on it too.
And when somebody's failing, they end up calling someone who is a sex worker.
Well,
So
no,
it comes full
that's
circle.
it's not. No, they call us because they still love their wives. Okay, not because I'm not seeing women, but they still love their wives and they just want to get their rocks off. That's it. Sometimes their wives are ill, at least that's what they say.
Hmm.
You know, but and I don't always believe that to be honest, guys, just to let you know I'm not stupid. But sometimes, they just want to get their rocks off and their wives are either going through menopause or I've even spoken to a couple of wives and they literally have told me on the phone, just take care of him. I just don't have the urge anymore, and I'm just tired of him barking up the wrong tree.
Too many instances, gay people, gay and bisexual people are so different. They just kind of willingly participate in this open infidelity, or like in very recently in the incident, I was kind of like just given permission by, like you said, by the wife to just kind of
No, literally, I've
and
spoken to the
I
wives.
thought it was the strangest situation, but
It's very
the
odd. It
only
really
reason I
is.
participated was because everybody was aware and nobody was being lied to and everybody was kind of in the game. So I was like, okay, but the person was
And
really
you hope
nice.
later that
Well,
nobody has any
the
regrets.
person was very nice and very a very good person. And unfortunately, I fell for the person. But I'm like, are you stupid? In these situations, nobody catches feelings, and that's why I say if that had been like a sex worker type situation or an escort, which again with men is different. It's not sexy to be a male escort or to get a male escort. The way if I think male escort, I think herpes, scabies, like who knows
You
what.
think bathhouses,
Yeah.
you think nasty
And bathhouses,
stuff.
you pay like $25 to get into, so, or heard, and
Just like when people, start thinks massages, they think spas, they think, illegal activity.
wait,
They, you know,
that same type of activity, that same type of like what do they call it? God, there's a word for it. There's a word that I fucking hate, but it does suit it appropriately. Lewd activities. No,
loitering.
no. There's a judgmental fucking ugly word. Maybe because I probably repressed it when I keep hearing it. Um, uh, devious, devious. Sexually devious activities. Fuck you, and you're devious. Like, people can do whatever they want. If somebody wants to fucking wear a pup mask and get choked, and I don't like any of that shit, but whatever. You want to wear a pup mask
I
and
wanted my husbands to do it. I don't let my customers do
get
it.
choked and like whipped
But
and shit.
I
Like,
trust my
fine,
husbands.
sure, okay, cool, whatever. We all
Mhm.
have our things. Um, Everyone should mind their own business. And some people pay for that type of thing because they want a professionalism. Like, I want what I wanted. What's the weirdest kink that somebody's like, this is what I want. It's what you're gonna give me, and this is what I'm gonna pay. What's the weirdest kink that you've seen in the industry?
Um, Probably the weirdest kink is the guy wanting me to. I think it's called because I just recently learned it, even though I've been in this is 35 years. Pegging.
Oh,
Oh, he wanted me. No, no, no. It wasn't just the pegging. It was how he wanted me to do it, and he wanted to bleed. And yeah, it was like he wanted to be. He wanted me
so
to
you
make
used a
sure.
black dildo to peg him?
He brought his own.
Was it black?
This was
Was
way
it big
back
and
when
black?
this was way back. I don't remember, to be honest. It was when I was in my 20s or my 30s, early 30s, and I didn't have a choice in the matter of who I was going to see. Because I couldn't. I didn't have my own business. I was working for other people in the phone book. So but I think that was probably the worst or the weirdest, kinkiest. And he wanted to make sure that he still felt me doing him, fucking him with the dildo, and for like 3 to 4 days. So there was like blood coming off on the. No, you know what? It was a white dildo. Because I could see the blood.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, no. Wow and
And then
no.
eventually I just stopped. I said, I started getting a heart for this stupid ass. To be honest, I literally did because, and he's like, going, oh, oh, and I'm like, doing it, and I'm like slowing down. He goes, no, keep going, and I'm like, but you sound like you're in pain, dude. No, I am. It hurts so good. It was horrible. I just stopped. I couldn't do anymore. I'm not sadistic. I mean, I have to be honest. And he tipped me to do it too. He and the things, and I
How
literally
much did he
thought
tip you for that?
$200. And the things that I thought, oh my
To
gosh,
see
the things I
blood
do
on a
for 200
dildo,
bucks.
200 bucks?
No, too viciously.
He owed you a mortgage payment at that.
Look, as far as I know, he made me do him like that so he could claim rape to his wife. I have no clue. Because and I used a condom too. He
No, as
wanted me to
far
use a
as you
condom
know, his wife
on the
probably
dildo.
knows and was like, "Thank God it wasn't
It
me
was
this
probably
time."
his wife's dildo I
She was probably
used.
like,
Oh,
"Thank God I didn't have to do it this time." She took one for the team. You see, you're putting an industry out of business. How else is all Hank gonna get pegged? With a big black dildo or big white dildo,
big white dildo, big white
big white
dildo.
redneck
It
dildo.
was probably his wife's dildo. I promise you it
Oh
was.
my
He made me
goodness.
use a condom on it too.
Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Since we're sharing dildo stories, I guess I have to share my weirdest one. My weirdest dildo story. Um, I don't use dildos. I'm not a woman. I've never have used
I
dildos.
don't like
I'm a
dildos.
gay man. Gay men don't use dildos. We have our own thing to use. We don't really need a dildo.
I
We
don't
have
like dildos. They
when people
hurt.
would be like, "Do you like?" I'm like, "I'm boys don't use toys. We have our own." So, any anyhow, TMI a little bit, but anyhow, this dude brought his own dildo over, and I was like, "Well, I'm not pegging you with that." He's like, "Don't worry." He like put it on the floor. He's like, "I'll sit on it."
It was one of those suction dildos.
Yes, yes.
Did you kind of lick on the bottom
And so,
and you slap it? Like you can slap it on the wall and slap it on the floor and slap it on your door,
and
slap on your headboard.
I'm gonna regret this trip to Sesame Street because I probably shouldn't have said all this, but
And I
this
would be considered Big Bird in this fantasy, guys. I just want you to know that.
I guess I'm Elmo.
Elmo don't know what
Mhm.
Elmo's saying right now.
Mhm.
Elmo gonna regret his story. So
Mhm.
the dildo was big and black, and
Yeah,
the
that's in
dildo,
your
the
fantasies.
dildo. No, it was real. It was a big black dildo, and
You want a big black
it
dildo.
had crystals all over
Mhm.
it. And I thought, what are the crystals? Elmo said, Elmo wanna know what crystals are on the dildo.
There were crystal meth shards on the dildo.
No, I don't want that shit. That's nasty shit. That's nasty shit.
So, like I said, I'll probably regret this trip to Sesame Street and telling this goddamn story. But you told a dildo story. I had to tell one. I think that was the weirdest dildo story. But I wasn't working at the time. I think it was COVID time. So I think just weird shit
Oh
happened
yeah,
during
everybody
COVID.
was doing everything inside.
Weird shit was happening during COVID, and you know that. Oh, yeah, that's when you saw me at my weirdest. We're, anyhow, we're sidetracking the industry.
What?
Take it, Big Bird.
Well, we should talk to Oscar here when he comes out of his fucking can.
we we have been discussing how the industry is under attack, and I have mixed feelings about it. Again, the attack is under a guise of morale. They're trying to take out a form of someone making a living, and
Well, they've taken my form of making a living
see, living
because
proof
now I
right here.
can't work anymore to pay my bills, and I never did anything wrong. Maybe I did it to myself, but I don't recall anybody screaming in agony. Maybe a pleasure.
Other than the guy with the dildo.
Well, that was like way back when. I can't be faulted for that.
Again, he liked it. No, in all these narratives that we've told and that we've kind of painted out for you about the industry and all this and all that, no one's ever gotten hurt. No one was ever deceived, lied to.
No, well, I was hurt doing that massage thing. That was the only thing when I did the massage because I was not a sex worker, and that's why he took it from me. That's the because I never got to finish that story in the last segment.
What do you mean he took it from you?
Well, he raped me. I went to give him a massage. Remember, I walked up to the hotel room. He let me in. That's when I saw the couch. I heard the shower going off, and it wasn't a shower because when I peeked around the corner, it was like a pipe out of the wall. It was like a storage room where like it was crap. It was just a broken and a half couch. And I go, so where do you want me to give you the massage? Because in the other room there was nothing in there. And he goes, oh, you could do it right here. And I go, the couch is broken. And he sits on it. And as I turn around to put my lotion on the counter and my purse on the counter, pull my lotion out of my purse and put everything there, he grabs my arm and pulls me down and proceeds to rape me and get on top of me. And then he jumps up real fast and runs, grabs my purse and runs out of the room. And so my lotion's there, and I'm like, oh my, and so I literally jump up. I didn't even grab my pants. I just ran. And I didn't have any pants on and my, no underwear because he pulled them both off at the same time. And I ran after him because he had my keys, he had my phone, he had everything. I had nothing, and and I chased him and it was going this way and this way. I mean, it was just so fast. And I'm telling you, that man could run. And I thought I was in shape, but I was not.
How old were you at the time?
And I think that happened like 8 or 9 years ago. Yeah, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. That happened.
So
And I weighed like 155 pounds, so it was real easy to.
Would you say that over time the risk, the danger, and the risk of danger for you guys has gone up or down, worsened, gotten?
In 35 years, I've had 2 incidences happen, and that was all in that year. I'm trying to think like so that was not COVID. That was before COVID. It just maybe was a fluke that it happened to me. But that 1 year is when I was robbed, and that was when Backpage, because I'd advertised on Backpage. So when Backpage was out, and I'm going to tell you, since the internet has come out, pimps don't have a job anymore. That's why they are getting kids and they're pimping them out and putting them online. I highly believe this, guys, because they don't have a job. They started robbing us girls. They came to our house, they were staking us out, and it was 2 black pimps that robbed me. They didn't deny it when I told them that. They had their gold teeth in And I was giving the guy a massage, gave him the little like that. And my ex-husband's upstairs watching TV naked and playing his video games. Like I said, he didn't work, guys. And
Upstairs with a gun,
and with my
minded,
gun, and a rifle, and yeah.
and
So
clueless to what's going
clearly,
on.
I'm screaming as I did. I saw this guy.
Fucking moron.
As I
Why
saw
I've
this guy that
always
was a
hated
pimp,
him.
and he jumps off my massage table, puts his clothes on. I said, "Let me walk you to the door," like that. And I walked him to the door, and as I opened up the door, and the whole time I'm giving him the massage and everything, he's on his phone, just texting because he was texting his friend that was outside in the car. Okay, go ahead and come to the door. She's done with me, and she's going to go ahead and open the door. And that's what happened. His friend pushed open the door, grabbed me, put his hand over my mouth, lifted me off the ground. Yes, guys, I was 155 pounds. I could be lifted off the ground. Lifted me off the ground and told me that basically they were going to beat my face ugly, and they were calling me a rich bitch, and that I had tons of money, and because I had a BMW, because I had a house, and they were pimps, and and he kept telling me the whole time I was giving him the massage and giving him the hand job that he was going to get his bottoms, because yeah, with my gold. With my family's jewelry, my mother's jewelry, my dad's jewelry, my grandfather's
So
jewelry.
he robbed you of all the jewelry
They
in your
robbed
home.
me completely, guys. They robbed me, put a gun to my head, went and got upstairs with my ex-husband, made him crawl down the stairs on his two hands and his legs. And
Casey weighs like more than a walrus. How did he get down the stairs on his hands
he
and knees?
did. He did.
With a
And
gun to his head, I'm sure he found a way.
and then they grabbed me, made me go upstairs to my room, go in my jewelry box, give him one of my Dooney and Burke purses because they were the hot back then, and then and fill up my purse with all my jewelry. Do you know how hard that was, guys, to give away my family's jewelry because I was being robbed? And then I turn around, and I know this is going to sound ironic. I stole 2 pieces of my own jewelry back. And my ex-husband told me that I could have killed us when I got away with it because I
Rather
shoved
than
it under
him
my
having
mattress.
intervened with the weapons that he supposedly bought. I
And
remember that when they bought weapons.
they stole the gun. They stole the gun that he was supposed to use to protect us. And then they went and used it on another robbery and robbed some other girls. And got caught because they didn't like I was gonna say fat ass Casey.
And
Like
again,
my
she
ex-husband.
always footed the bill for everything. She bought everything. So when the day
And when
she
the
told me,
insurance paid out on all that, I had to buy all his stuff back before any of mine. And it was my house, my insurance that I paid, my money.
so this industry comes with a lot of
We were not even married then, guys.
this industry
Red
comes
flag.
with a lot of risks, physical danger risks.
Yes, out of the whole 35 years, those would be the 2 incidents that happened. And I'm lucky that nothing else has happened. I'm lucky that I'm still here. I'm lucky that I've dodged. But that's only by the grace of God. Thank you, Lord.
And so you're in favor of Lisa's work and what she's doing and how she's
I
intervening.
am. She's trying for me and for the others. She's trying to reprogram us. She's trying to teach us that the fast money is not real. And we understand that. And it is literally, it's like an addiction for me. The industry is an addiction because I'm so used to the fast money. I've had it for 35 years. And now I have to work for the hour. I have to work for the man. And it's hard.
Here's where I have to play devil's advocate because I'm like, while I agree with Lisa's purpose and I'm wholeheartedly stand behind it, I also agree in the freedom of everyone to do whatever the fuck they want to do. It doesn't matter who you are or what you want to do.
They do. That is true.
If you're a white man that wants to get pegged by a white woman, you should be allowed to do that. Or why aren't they out there intervening that? Why aren't they out there intervening the perverts who are looking down,
That
who are
is
looking
true.
at
But at
the
the same
escorts and all this
point,
and all that? You're focusing on the workers and you want to take away their livelihood in the name of morality, and morality which you probably didn't have when you were her are younger than her, and you probably came to a reckoning, and so now you want to change everyone else's life. Social work is that way. You're not going to change everything. And what do you feel? What do you think? You've already told me before, but I'd like you to tell the listeners. What are the girls going to resort to now if they get taken off all the websites and they get busted for being on Backpage and Craigslist and Backdoor and
Well,
all that? What are they going to do now?
like I've
What are they all going to
explained,
do?
but like I've explained before, and I've told them, their girls are going to scatter. They're going to go everywhere. You're going to find them, standing outside having a cigarette of Valero. You're going to find them at bars trying to hook up. You're going to find them at clubs. They're going to scatter. They're going to be everywhere.
It won't be as
They're going to be
organized
on the
as
streets.
there was a system that you used before, and the system was, I used to kind of laugh at you and be like, you look paranoid, and you'd be like, no, this is how I weed out the psychos. I make them do this, I make them do that, I make them take a confirmation picture about this or that.
There's
There
not
was
any of that
there
anymore.
was a
There will not
system,
be any of that
and
anymore.
you were safe that
Mm-mm.
way by weeding out the weirdos. And if
There
they
will not be any more of that. It won't be any more like
So
that.
now the girls are they're in danger. They're going to hook up with
They're in
any
more
weirdo that
danger
picks them
now.
up off the street, like in the 70s and 80s. Because the industry is not going to go away. I don't think you're going to make that supply and demand ever go away. It's invisible now, and it might go underground. But the more underground it goes, the more people will slip through the cracks and
And
get
the
hurt.
unfortunate thing too is they're not going to be able to weed out everybody either.
Exactly. You won't be able
There's going
to.
to be more streams coming in, more fishes coming in, more people,
You'll find
coming
more
in,
unidentified bodies of prostitutes that have been mutilated by, there's going to be
because they're going out and they're not safe.
yeah, when they're able to be safe and weed them out online and go through apps and different things like that, they're able to sift out the psychos. You're able to have conversations with them online. If you're busting them for all this now, you're taking away someone's livelihood. Like I said, it is their choice to do as they want. Whether you believe it's right or wrong, everyone has the right to make that choice. Is it Should it even be illegal? Why is it illegal? There's no, it's like you made that point in the first part of the episode. It's illegal because the laws are made by men.
It's
You
a
know,
moral issue. It's morally illegal. Morally is the first word. Like a film, like Arsenio.
morally. But again, these are the people with the fewest morals. You Like you said, you had a dirty, stinky ass judge that you used to, work for.
Well, that I got a grant from.
But yeah, you
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
$1,000 from a
Because
gross,
I
stinky
spent the
ass
night with
judge
them.
to do some
I
nasty,
actually
dirty,
should
hinky
have
shit with
gotten
him.
more.
Did you get pink eye from that shit?
No.
uh, no, I don't think that the law, that religion, um, I don't think the law has any place in trying to regulate this industry. I think that industry is always going to exist, and like you said, you're gonna cause uh, its participants to scatter. Uh, People are probably going to start stripping more. They're going to be in strip clubs doing it. In the shadows and private clubs and private cabanas. Probably where most of it is going on right now.
More spas are gonna open up. More. It's gonna scatter. There's gonna be more people out there, doing on the streets and.
I was hearing that there's an Asian spa somewhere near San Pedro that the people at the last place I worked at would all the men would frequent because there was happy endings. They're like, yeah,
Oh, that's all the spas.
really? I
That's
didn't.
not a joke. That's all the spas.
So,
I mean, there's certain ones that are legal, guys. I'm not gonna say they're all illegal.
but here in San Antonio, there's spas here where you can go and you're
Oh,
going to get a happy
sure. Oh,
ending.
sure, sure, sure. Oh, sure. I heard it from my customers. Yes.
Very
Hmm.
interesting. And what sides of town might one
Everywhere. They're
find those?
everywhere. They're usually Asian spas. And most likely the Asian girls are not licensed.
And when you speak with Lisa, do you ever ask her what they plan to do about those places?
No, because I only get an hour a week with Lisa, and it doesn't pertain to that stuff because, again, I'm out of the industry, even though I'm discussing it, and I can discuss it because I'm here to help people to understand the industry and to realize that we are humans and we have feelings and we're not trash.
Yeah, and Lisa needs to go bust those Asian spas where people are
Well,
actually being
Lisa's a
where they're
missionary.
actually being trafficked. That's where human
She's
trafficking is going, and
she's
that's
an
where she needs to
advocate. The
be
cops need to go over there
advocating.
doing that.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
the cops really do need to hit the spas because there are a lot of underage girls working at the spas
that
and they're not licensed. And I've even heard from customers where they've talked to the girls and there's like 4 or 5 girls living in one room and they're brought from other countries to work in the spas. They're not licensed.
hmm, and that's here in San
That
Antonio.
is here in San Antonio.
No telling
Yes.
what's going on in Vegas, New York,
And that would be
LA.
considered trafficking. But I don't know anything if that's even real, if it's, you know what I mean? That's
So you've
hearsay.
never dabbled in that part of the industry.
No,
That's
no,
never been
no, no,
something that
no,
you
no,
ever
no.
did. It's not.
I don't
It's
do no trafficking. That's just no, no, no. I feel like when I was a kid, I was violated, and that's why I do what I do now. Because of what happened when I was a child, it just made it easier to accept.
so you feel that that's why you chose to do why what you chose to do because of
I know that's why I chose what I
exposure to childhood trauma.
Oh, yes, I know. That's exactly why. Everybody couldn't stop putting their hands on me. All the men couldn't stop touching me. So I just went into the business. It was easier. Why not just get paid for it? They won't stop touching me now anyway.
Um,
But when I was a kid, the boys my age didn't want to touch me. They didn't want anything to do with me. They said I was ugly. But the grown men, that man, I'll never forget Exxon guy. Well, it's time to pay up on that 5 to 10 cents that I fronted you, a month ago. Meet me back from my office. I'll never forget that. I was like 14 years old. That's when I ran home and told my mother, I'm tired of everybody touching me.
uh-huh.
Mm, yeah.
So you just like a coping mechanism. You decided to
No, it
delve.
wasn't a coping mechanism.
No,
It was that I was broke and I saw that movie with Sigourney Weaver of her being a doctor and being an escort. I had no clue what it was. Like most people that get in this business,
but you also just said though
I
that
was
nobody would
naive.
keep their hands off you when you were young. So it
So I said, you know what? If she can make money, I said, why not? Nobody can keep their hands off of me. So why not make a buck on it now?
yeah,
And maybe I can eat tonight and I can pay a bill,
huh?
put
You
gas in my car.
you exploited the exploiters.
Well, I got what I needed. And unfortunately, I had to sacrifice, and I feel like my soul for it. Because, like I said, I walked out of that room and a part of me stayed back.
Yeah. And so you at never at any point in time with you being in this business, you never did it because you liked it. It was always for
No,
money.
yes. It was always for money. It was never because I liked it. I never liked it at all.
Did it affect your personal sexuality?
Yeah, I think it did. I don't know if more so if it affected my marriages because I gave them as much sex as they wanted, and I did enjoy the sex with my partners because I did more stuff with them
Were
where
you
I
able to
don't.
were you able to compartmentalize when you were with someone else and not think about your
Oh
husband and
yeah, it was like I I did like program myself to that I had two different people in me.
Mhm.
I had Ashley when I worked, and I had the me Cynthia.
Hmm.
It was two different. So when I walked to the door of their room or whatever, or they would come over, I literally would like switch, and it was disassociating myself basically to make it easier, to make it acceptable, and to portray what they're wanting. Somebody that's sexual, somebody that's confident, somebody that can teach them or do for them and knows what they're doing and please them and get them in and out.
You sound like Yasmin when she was learning to be, Yasmin, and she said, they all look at these Jules and they get angry because they don't look like this, and they're mad because their man wants me. The industry does something to you, huh? The money changes you for a minute, and when you're at the top of your game, you feel invincible and untouchable. But
You do because you have that comfort of that you can pay your bills, that you can do whatever you want.
Mhm.
It's like when a millionaire tells you, look, it's not all that being rich, you know? And it is actually, they can bitch and complain. It may not be all that because they've got people like trying to ask them for money and stuff. But in the end, they can pay their bills easily.
Mhm.
And if they get themselves in such a debt, that's on them. Let's be honest, guys. If you make that bad investment, that's on them.
Mm.
We all choose how we live. We all choose how we spend our money, guys. We know when we're spending wrong. We know when we can't afford it.
And so that brings me to another idea that I'm noticing that the industry is, I believe that that's the sexual aspect of the industry is, the demographic for that is solely men. There really
Well, yeah,
is,
there's not women calling me. I mean, I think
or
I've
women
had
calling for
a
men,
couple.
or even women calling for men. Really, it doesn't really happen like that. I've
No, no, no,
known
no, no.
many a
Why would we could
gigolo.
go to a bar and get any man and like, yeah, no.
So
Mm-mm.
yeah, just like, I've always said male escorts. I don't think it's a hot thing. I wouldn't find that hot. I wouldn't want to do that.
Maybe in Hollywood, maybe with the real rich old ladies, maybe they want that sugar baby or
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm sure that's a thing out there, right?
Yeah, I
With
would. I
with
don't.
some
I don't
pretty
know. Or maybe
boys.
it's just the movies. I have never had
Seen
a
it,
woman call, and I've never wanted to call a man to be. They
right?
call me. What?
Yeah, yeah. And I believe the same with stripping. I don't think male strippers are sexy. It's not.
I don't either, but that's because of what we've done.
um Women stripping, it's an art. I'm not, I don't like women like that, but watching a woman being a stripper on
No, I would never think that you would like a woman like that.
watching a stripper I do her work, I'm like, all right, I get it, cool, fine, let's tip to that. Here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain. We'll have a good time. Strip clubs are great. When a guy's involved, it's just a dude walking around in a thong, just like waving his business all in your face. He's like, like, just, what do
And
you?
guys do that period
It's
all the time.
it's not
There's
hot.
nothing
It's
special
not.
about
There's
it.
nothing hot
There
about it.
there literally isn't. They come home and take it off and swing their
It
thing.
literally
They
feels
think it's they
awkward.
swing it in the bathroom to a
Yeah, yeah,
mirror.
yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
I
And you
mean, I've
hear,
seen
and
my
it's only the
ex-husbands doing it.
grandmas. Only the grandmas are like busting out, the $5 bills and shit, and you're like, this is tragic.
But I think also for me, because I went to a strip club with a whole bunch of girls for a bachelorette party.
Okay, so you're on that side.
No,
Okay.
but I'm actually like, I went there and it just didn't turn me on. And like where I was sitting was literally on part of the stage. So the strippers brought me on stage and I didn't do anything because it didn't impress me. Because believe it or not, girls, some of my customers were hotter,
Hmm.
seriously. And of course, some of them weren't. There's all kinds out there.
What do
But
you do with the ones that are just Danny DeVito got hit by a train,
fake it,
hideous?
you fake it, you fake it really hard. You, you play it up and fake it really, really hard, guys. Because it's, yeah.
Do you try to make it more of a pleasant, friendly visit than and quick on that part?
I visit
You try to yak a
first
little
for a
more to
while.
kill the.
I actually yak for a while and try to visit for a little bit to get to know them because I really feel like at our age that we should build a rapport, that we should have a connection before we connect, literally.
Yeah, yeah.
Have an intimate connection where there's an attraction, where there's, I'm interested in you, and you're kind of look a little, I don't know how fast you get that going in, 15, 20 minutes, but, I play it good. I play it really good, guys.
So that's straight people world. Gay people world, y'all know it's just it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. We won't even go there. It's just, and besides, gay people also, they don't use the industry like that. I don't see, unless there's like a rich old gay man who really can't, find someone. Um, then I guess they're renting out prostitutes, but the prostitutes aren't very. Yeah, I've seen what there is to offer out there. There's not a lot going on. Um, for men, the industry just doesn't really exist. It's mostly a women thing. But
Yeah, it
again,
is. It
there's
is.
a lot of women, that we didn't talk about in the past episode that do need to get recognized, that are being coerced, forced, and a lot of the times just misguided. The only person in their life might be some aunt or some sister or some cousin or something that's showing them, the game, getting them into the game, and all of a sudden, that's all they know.
Mm-mm.
I've known many many dancers that get into that, lifestyle of the dancer, making thousands in one night, and just, getting hooked on drugs and enjoying the dancer life. It's fun, but it's not real. But it's
Right.
also an industry, and again, the main demographic is men. Men pour thousands and thousands of dollars into this industry and into these women.
Well, without the men, we wouldn't have jobs.
Yeah, that's true. There. So goes back to what we're talking about: the industry being attacked, under attack. Why are you guys under attack and not the men?
Because we're the ones that can spread the legs. They can't.
You aren't even the ones with the money. The men's have the men's
Well, of
the
course, the
men's
men
the
have all
men
the
have the
money
money. So why are you all under attack and not the men?
because they don't want us to spread our legs. It's a moral issue.
It's
It's
a
all
mind your own fucking
moral
business issue.
because they can't do it.
It's,
If they could do it, it would be legal.
I still can't, like, if we were arguing this in a court of law, I can't. I'm like, why are we not going after the consumer, only after the supplier?
Well, now they're going after both.
So now,
But why
so
not
now
leave it
consumers are
alone?
being charged too
But why
with
not
offenses. Consumers are being charged with offenses on their
what
record.
they should do? Yeah, even customers are being booked
What are they
or
being What are they being charged with? Misdemeanors,
for hooking up with
soliciting
prostitutes,
prostitution,
soliciting prostitution,
and that's what, a
and they're
misdemeanor or felony.
and because people are talking so
But what is that?
boldly,
What
and
is that though? Misdemeanor or felony?
that's a felony.
Oh, ooh, felony
Mm,
for soliciting sex.
yes,
Okay, they're going too far. That's too much.
it's a felony for
You're going too far.
prostitution too.
You're done.
It's a felony for prostitution
I
too.
hate that I'm wearing red and I'm sitting in a red chair because Texas is a red state, and I'm definitely not a red person. I'm not a crazy, I'm not, all crazy on the left side either, but this is too much. You can't put something on somebody's record because they choose to indulge in an industry that's out there. The supply and demand is invisible, but it exists and it's real. And people are demanding, people are supplying, people are buying, people are paying, people are taking the money. It's a cycle. And when you're trying to interrupt this, you're
But if it's two
taking bread
consenting
off of you're
adults,
taking bread off of providers' tables, and you're taking pussy out of ugly people's lives.
and it's two consenting adults.
And you're violating the rights of two consenting adults. There you go.
Mhm.
Ugly people don't get pussy, and you're violating both people's rights.
There you go. All right, we got to wrap this up. It's going to be an hour.
We managed to do another hour here with my best friend of many years, Cynthia. Here, I guess we could do many, many hours, and we've
Many,
discussed
many.
the possibilities of possibly doing a separate podcast about, advocating for mental health and for people who need help and things of that nature. Today we were talking about sex being part of an industry, being an industry in and of itself, where tipping is involved, and we went way askew off that. But we it was a little refresher from the restaurant. We got out of the hookers eat, right?
We do. And
They
we
go to
get
restaurants.
tipped too. And we get tipped
Do y'all
too.
do y'all tip? Are y'all good
No,
tippers?
we get, yes, of course, because we get tipped. Yes, of course. I
So
was
see,
very good tipper.
we we talked about the tips and the tipping. No, we just took a little dive into another industry today and just gave you a little taste of something different. And Cynthia is exactly that. I'm so glad you were able to be here with us today, love. I love you so much.
It was
Thank you for
fun.
visiting us.
Always
And
fun.
we will see y'all next time on the next episode of Just a Tip. Where's the rest of it? Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.